Hey, so today I'd like to talk about some of the more expanded targeted marketing that we've been seeing with comic book related properties. Um, the big way that it started was a few years ago. We started seeing the rebranding of certain characters. Captain America, Miss Marvel. We saw the introduction of a new spider related character. So with Captain America, Sam Wilson, he took over the mantle of Captain America. Um, try to introduce have a black character as Captain America. Miss Marvel, 14-year-old Muslim girl. And then we had Spider Gwen introduced. So we're seeing more opening up of trying to target more minority audiences who weren't necessarily included with comic book universes. Of course, they've been written and created for so long that they can always be introduced and updated. We also have the introduction of a black female Iron. I guess they call it Ironheart. I was gonna say Iron Man, but that doesn't quite work. Um, and there are some issues with that because you're diluting the original characters and creations, and there's the argument why not create your own characters. Um, but there's also it doesn't it's not very successful to actually create new original characters. We've seen it's very difficult to break these characters nowadays. Um, in the 90s, there was lots of characters created from all sorts of companies. But a lot of them just didn't stick around because when the comic market crashed in the late 90s, yeah, it went back to the original characters were popular and the new ones just very few lasted. The exceptions are basically Harley Quinn and Deadpool, and even Harley Quinn's an extension of the Joker and the brand built with that. So when I got to talk with Joe Quesada over the summer and I asked him about this, he did make the case that you have to keep the original brands of the characters that you've already built and just try to rework it in new ways. Otherwise, it's just not going to be successful. And we have the Miss Marvel series, Spider-Gwen, have both been extremely successful. Sam Wilson's Captain America is pretty successful. It's not as big a deal really as the other characters, just comparatively how the comics go. And then we've also seen internationally in the movies trying to go and expand into wider audiences, especially in the Chinese market. Doctor Strange, large parts of it were shot in China and showed the Chinese military just for that basic reason, just so they could get screened to another billion people and make that much more money. As well, the Transformers, the last movie that was absolute garbage, didn't do great domestically, but it did so well overseas that it's basically extended into a new franchise. So we're seeing that more and more. There's questions of brand dilution around in both instances. Of course, it's just to make more money. It is showing progress, but in certain instances, more progress for more reasons, and it's all driven by profit, of course. But that's the way it is. Anyway, have a good one. Good night.